strong, right? And take advantage and the benefit, right, of other people's strengths. OPI, anybody know what OPI, OPE, and OPM? Okay, so Coach Chelsie is the pro here, literally. She's been coaching with Robert and Melody, I mean, for years. So she is an inspiration to me and our coaching community here. She's one of my founding members. And if you don't know what a founding member is, it's actually somebody that has contributed to creating the course and to my inspiring me. She provided me with her resources and her study guide when I was just creating my Science of Getting Rich study guide. And it really helped me, opened my mind up to how we can ask people questions versus demands and asking people to do things. That study guide really helped me because it just kept asking me questions and asking me to reflect on what I was reading, what I was learning. And it was just beautiful because it really wasn't helping me what to believe or think or see in this content, right? Chelsie is just big on helping you see what you've got to see in this, right? We all see differently. And for Chelsie, I'm just gonna go and pass it on to you. I love you. She is obviously, many of you know her already, but you're gonna get to know her a little bit more here. And I highly encourage and recommend you to connect with her personally. Send her a message if you are on this call, because she is one of the best friends to have, okay? Chelsie, take it away.
Oh my goodness, I appreciate you so much, Rita. You are phenomenal. And I'm glad you talked about growth, because I remember when you first started this journey with us and seeing the massive, I can say massive, and I don't think people are going to understand just where you were and how far you've come. You're not the same person that you used to be. You don't even look like the same person you used to be. You are glowing. You are just such a powerful presence, and you inspire me constantly. I love your posts. You're constantly lifting people up. I love that about you. You're amazing. That you guys are really in good hands having Rita here to just share what she's learning and experiencing, because like I said, when we first joined this journey together, I couldn't even recognize that person you used to be. Definitely not now. It's phenomenal. So I really appreciate you bringing me on today, and I'm excited to talk to you guys. I see some familiar faces. And when Rita first asked me to pop on, I wasn't sure what I could bring to the table, because often we are kind of our own biggest enemy, and we're like, you know, they're amazing. I can't really help or benefit. But sometimes when we take that little seed of fear and kind of toss it aside and plant a little bit of confidence in ourselves, we actually help other people, because a lot of the times we hear something over and over again. For instance, Robert could say something, Melody could say something over and over, and it won't connect with me until Rita says it in a certain way. Or when Kimmy gets on her lives and says it in a certain way, and it just tweaks the way you hear it, because you're not as in like student mode, if that makes sense. It's like, this is someone that I'm seeing as my companion, someone who's on the same level as me, that's amazing. And like, yeah, Teresa said, it clicks in your brain. And so I was trying to think, you know, what can I help today in this conversation? And one of the things that I absolutely love talking about is visualizations. So when we are in a business or whenever we want to do something, our first step is to make a decision. And if you guys are here, you've all made a decision to invest in yourselves, to focus on your personal growth, and to really push yourselves forward to a new level, to get past some of those pains and those problems that have held us back, right? So after you make a decision, you have to figure out what you want. And this can be sometimes difficult for us. I don't know if I'm sure there's some moms on here that might always put family first, kids first. There might be parents, other parents, you know, fathers that do that as well. And we get so caught up in these other people that we forget what we want, and we take on what they want. For instance, you might take on your partner's role and think, I have to do this so that they can do that. And we start to hinder ourselves in a way, especially when it comes to maybe a business online or our health or, you know, the relationship in general, because we're so focused on someone else that we forget about ourselves. And so we have to figure out really what we want. We have to take time to figure out, what is it that I would like to achieve, accomplish? What is it I would like to reach? Where would I like to go? And this is where it's perfect to be selfish. You know, we're told being selfish is bad. In fact, if you Google the word self-love, it mentions being selfish. But self-love is not selfish. Self-love is the key to everything. So if you can take the time to understand that you're worth it, that you're allowed to dream, and you're allowed to have those things you want, and you take the time to be selfish, you'll start to see changes in things. Because once you really connect emotionally to whatever it is you'd like to do, things start to fall into place, right, Rita? Once your heart is there, everything else falls into place. And this was something I love seeing with Rita, is in the beginning, she was very caught up with family. And you could see it. She was devoted. She loved her family, loved her husband. That's all she cared about. And it was hard for her to break away from that and to focus on what she needed in that time. And it was beautiful seeing her finally step into the selfish role, right? And self-love, get that self-love and bring it out and start focusing on what she wanted and needed. So the easiest way to do this is to think about things that you would like to do and make a list. I usually say put as many as you can within 10 to 15 minutes. Give yourself time to just write whatever comes to mind. Whether it's, something small, like, oh, I'd like to lose 5 pounds. Or something big, like, I would like to travel to Italy for 3 months. Whatever pops into your head, nothing's too crazy, just write it down. And when the time is up, go back through and pick out 10 that really stick out for you. And I highly recommend doing these for 2 to 3 years out, sometimes 5 years, those longer goals, because when we take something that's far away and we put it in our mind, and we focus on it, we visualize it, it becomes quicker. And so when you start it, put the intention out there to have these happen later on in your future, but know that they're going to come to you sooner. So after you have your 10, you emotionally attach yourself to those 10. Now, something our mentor teaches us, both Robert and Melody, is that we should have a perfect day. And a perfect day is where you take an item, maybe that goal, and you write about it. So say you wanted to travel to Italy. Where would you go? Who would you take with you? How long do you want to be there? What do you want to see? How much money are you going to have in your pocket? What are you going to be wearing? What are you going to look like? Write down in detail these different little things and get your brain moving and grooving until you can create a perfect day where you know exactly where you want to be. You want to be on the beach. You want to be with your best friends. You're taking out the girls and you paid for the whole trip and you guys are going to go shopping and spend this much money on stuff. Really enjoy it like a kid. Take that imagination, just run with it with each one of those and create those perfect days. And as you do that, you'll be able to create in your mind a mental picture from your writings. And this is what's so essential, is that visualization, because once you can see it in your mind, you can feel it in your heart. Because you can write something down like, I want to travel to Italy, okay? But it doesn't have that emotional attachment because you haven't really connected with it. You haven't said what you wanted to do or how you wanted to feel or who you wanted to take. But once you do that, you build that momentum and excitement, and then it hits you harder. I have my goals written down right in front of me so I can see them every day. I have them short term and my long term. And so, for instance, it says Ireland. Okay, well, cool. I want to go to Ireland. But why do I want to go to Ireland? Well, for my 30th birthday, I want to take my family. We're going to go to Ireland. We're going to go to Dublin first and spend about 3 days there. Then we're going to go to the Giant's Causeway, which has these crazy cool, weird shaped rocks. And I just want to see these crazy rocks. And we're going to go near the ocean. And I have all these little things written down in these perfect days. And I'm excited. Like, my heart's racing right now because I love the idea of this. If you can do this and write multiple perfect days and read them frequently and bring them into fruition, if you can add pictures to them, that definitely helps. There's a thing called a vision board that you can create that Rita knows something about. There was also a really neat technique called drawing your future. Do you remember that one, Rita? That one's a great one as well. So there's tons of activities to help you bring in the visual side. So maybe you are more of the writing type, and so writing it out will help you visualize it better. Maybe you do need the pictures. Maybe you're someone who's more kinetic and you need items. So maybe you can make something that makes you think of that perfect day. But getting yourself to emotionally attach to it is what's going to help you. So I had something really neat happen last year. It actually started in, November? Late October, early November 2017. I became absolutely obsessed at the idea of having my own home, buying my first home. And it got to the point where I wrote my perfect days. I read them constantly. I was excited. I took pictures and placed them in every room in my house so that when I stepped into that room, I could visualize what I wanted my bedroom to look like, my bathroom to look like, my kitchen. I would imagine myself in it doing something. I would imagine myself in it being with someone. And so I started that at the end of October. And on January 8th of 2018, we put a bid in on our first home. And I was so excited because it had the things that I wrote about in my perfect day. It had my second story. It had a balcony for my son and I to look at the stars in. It had a fireplace for me to sit by and read. It had a big, beautiful open kitchen for me to be in. It had a spot for me to have my own office. And so I know that visualization can be extremely important if we emotionally attach ourselves to it and really bring it to the front of our awareness consistently. Bring it up, make sure you see it, it's in your face, like you have to look at it, you have to read it, you have to listen to it, and just get excited. You know, if you're more of an auditory person and this is all throwing you off, write down what you want your perfect day to be and then record it on your phone. Record yourself being excited, talking about this thing, and then play it back and see how you feel. Because most likely you're gonna get a smile on your face, your heart might start racing, or you're just gonna feel really good. Or you might even feel a little goofy, like, oh, she's crazy, that's whatever, you know, whatever it might be. But we have to kind of figure out, you know, everyone learns differently. We have our, you know, kinetic and our visuals, and we have our auditory. So whatever it might be, work with what works best for you, but definitely get into those visualizations. And if you can do some meditation, I know Rita has talked about that with the 6-phase meditation within the files, you can incorporate that then in there. Or you can just take some time to yourself where you just focus on your breathing. It can be this simple. Just focus on your breathing for a few breaths and then start bringing in that perfect day. Okay, I'm at the beach, but what do I look like? Okay, I see myself on the beach. Instead of just observing everything around you, imagine yourself actually being there. See yourself doing these activities with your family or friends or by yourself if you want to have, you know, a you day, whatever it might be. But definitely take the time to do that. And if you can just give yourself even 3-4 minutes a day of visualizing this, everything changes. That's all I really had to share today, Rita. It was just that little bit of visualization because I know it's so impactful. It's absolutely impactful.
Oh my goodness. That was amazing. And it's exactly just what's been coming to me a lot lately with confirming my own manifestation, blessings, and, you know, God's bringing my visualizations. And I wasn't a visualizer. I really hadn't practiced that much since I did hypnobirthing when I was pregnant with my first baby. And I did a little vision. She taught me some visualization, but Melody and Coach Chelsie and also Coach Janessa has been a great resource for just being able to just really get back to the basics. You know, what is it we want? What do I want? And what is going to really fulfill, you know, my heart's desires? And I will tell you, Coach Chelsie, I can let you know, you recommended to record yourself, right? So that's part of Melody's 30-day accountability, to record yourself doing, I think, my I am statements and the God memorandums several different times. And I found that I would be emotional more times with some things than others as I was recording myself audibly, and then especially listening. Wow, to hear your own voice saying things that you just don't normally say to yourself, especially when they're amazing and wonderful and beautiful, is really super powerful. And I guarantee you that the only reason I'm able to show up here today is because of these resources and tools that I've been given, you know, from our mentors and coaches, and that I'm passing along. So that was so amazing. I appreciate you, Coach Chelsie. Some of you may know, we were messaging earlier going, oh no, there's another call at the same time. And we didn't want to interfere with anybody's business education. Many of us here are in companies, and I just want to recommend that, you know, when you're in a duplicatable company, oh, Riker loves doing visualizations. Yes, so that's something that Rita and I doing as well at night, some children's meditations. So yeah, that's amazing that kids really can benefit. And I think some more than others. I know and some might not be interested, you know, it's just like adults. I think that kids are so different, just like us. I love it. It's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. But it is an inspiration to involve our families with this as well and share with our children or our spouse in the event they want to look at it or, you know, read or benefit from it. I know Marina does. She's read the I am statements with me. She's listened to the God memorandum over and over and over again with me many, many times in the morning, because often we'll wake up and the other family's not up and I'm still doing my morning ritual. So she will sit with me and really do the rest with me. And it's a beautiful experience. Lily's one wakes up earlier. She does the same thing. So I'm happy. I'm so grateful that I've been provided this platform. Rita helped me create this platform to just kind of be I feel like a satellite inspiration to her course. You know, I recommend everybody take her course. If you haven't taken it at least once, take her course at least once. I've taken it 3 times, and I can tell you that it's changed me every single time. And I have learned something and grown, I mean, by leaps and bounds every single time. But I really, really want to let you know here the truth. Coach Rita, you're always an inspiration. Thank you, Coach Teresa. I love you so much. I just want to tell you the truth about something. You know, I've been feeling this inspiration really recently to just start getting real about things. And I'm just going to start doing that right here today. You know, all of us are here sharing our time with each other. We're all here to grow, right? Most of us are even here to make an income. Like, we want more freedom, right? We want more choices, right? I want to choose just random things that I might want to buy that my husband doesn't want to buy. Things like that, like freedom, right? Traveling. This is so much easier and more enjoyable when we have freedom in which campgrounds we can pick. You know, when we're not limited to $10 campgrounds and we can pick $40 camp resorts. Like, that is so fun for us. So money absolutely matters living in the system of the world we live in. So there's no putting that aside. So what I want to do is provide the most value and you know, tools and resources that I can based on my education, right? I'm a student. I am a student with you all. And I just want to remind you of that. I thank you for your patience, you know, being patient with me. Can everybody else hear me? Oh, you know what? Is that better? Or, oh my goodness. Could you hear me still though? Okay, better. All right. I love the list, making the list within the 10 to 15 minutes. I just want to recap a couple things. Make sure that you absolutely do that, because that does help kind of bring all of this kind of down to a basic focus real quick that you can look at and take an evaluation, kind of feeling like, what do I feel the most excited about? Because truthfully for me, that's the only way I get up and my feet hit the ground and I'm ready to run. I've got to be following my dreams and my passions. And my passion is helping people succeed. And, you know, financially, the most success that I'm finding financially is as a result of Melody's 30 accountability courses. This group here, Freedom Mastery, you know, is a members group. And then also the network marketing company many of us are a part of. And if you are not already a part of it, I would just highly recommend to reach out to whoever invited you to this call to get involved with the residual income piece, because that is what I'm starting to see now. And that we know builds in the background slower for some, especially when you're not building full time, right? I'm a full-time mom and I have that. You look at my Facebook and I'm a full-time mom. That's what I do. And that's what I love doing. I be a wife. I just love being home with my family. I let everybody know that I work on Facebook second. And what my passion is to get everybody plugged into the most efficient success possible. Okay, so thank you so much. Yes, if anybody's not muted, please mute. I wasn't sure if because I'm on headphones, it's making funny noises. So thank you. If you're in Freedom Mastery, All the replays are great, but what I really, really recommend is all of you have got access to Vision Team, and it doesn't matter what business you have. Vision Team can help you. Vision Team has a unit section that is free millionaire mentorship coaching from our personal mentors. I've paid, I hired these mentors. However, since then, they've made all this training free, and I'm grateful is that I can tell everybody about it. And Coach Lynn and Coach Teresa's in there, and Kimmy's in there. All of you are in there. Most of you are in there. And I'm just really excited to learn.
It's really hard to hear you right now. Dawn and Jacqueline, can you guys mute for us, please?
Let me see. I'm trying, but it's not working. Oh, did that work? Oh, I think she was having issues. She logged out. Okay. We're still recording. Yay, okay, we're still on. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Look, I'm going to guide you to success. That's basically what I'm here for. I feel like that's my purpose here, to inspire, and then to just guide you to success. You're not chewing anything. And then now, if any of you ladies and gentlemen have questions, please come on out. And Coach Chelsea's here available for a little while yet. She's also a mom full-time. We know she creates as well in her, in her spare time as a mom. And we know that we don't have a lot of spare time all the time. So great for questions on, Facebook efficiency, making the most of your time, following your dreams, really. I mean, it's really, when you go to the basics, it can be so simple. So let me know if anybody wants to mention anything. Courtney, you are muted. Thank you. Hi, Dawn. I see you log back in. Yay. Yes, does anyone want to share anything or add anything as well? How do you mute? So it would be in your settings, probably in the top right-hand or bottom left-hand corner of your screen. I don't see your face, Maria, but I see your beautiful picture with the sunglasses and the hat. You look good. Thank you, Coach Chelsie, for coming and giving us so much value. I appreciate you, and I will have this recording available. I'll send you the link, and then you can post the replay as well wherever you'd like to. Yes, and anybody else that's here this weekend, I'm going to get caught up with posting all the replays in Freedom Mastery. So I'm excited about that because there's like 3 that I need to post. Excited to get the whole collection in there. The more people we can help, these videos are recorded and they're just always available. And that's what Robert and Melody like to coach us on, is creating to where we have material content that we don't have to keep working over and over and over again. We create and then it's there, kind of like a book. This is our version of a book, right? Actually, Coach Chelsie is writing a book. Aren't you? Yeah, 2. Yes, so exciting. I can't wait to read. Yay. So I love you all, ladies. Appreciate you. Is anybody on a big screen computer who wants to do a screenshot? Kim?
Okay, everybody, on the count of 3, let me just make sure I get changing my gallery view here.
I guess I'm leaving the meeting. That's so funny.
Okay, everybody on the count of 3, smile. 1, 2, 3. All right, I think I got it.
Yay, thank you.
Chelsie, you want to take one too, just in case?
All right, real quick, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
We're making history. We're making history. I love y'all. We'll talk again. Oh, tonight in just a little bit, I guess. We'll see you. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining. Bye, Maria. Bye, Coach Teresa. Bye, Coach Timmy. See you later, Dawn. Love you. Bye, Maria. Oh, I see you now, Maria. Are you there, Maria?